and P inspiratory is 10. Okay. What is this pressure level? 5 plus 10 equal to 15. Correct? It will go from 5 and take it 10 centimeters above, it will reach to 15 centimeters. Am I clear? When P inspiratory is 10 and PEEP is 5. This will become 15 centimeters. If I keep P pressure support at 15, what is this going to do? It will go from 5 to 20, correct? Because this is 15 centimeters. Okay? Now, the 15 centimeters is active throughout the inspiration at the high level also. The high level is 15, right? At 15 centimeters, exactly like this, if the patient decides to make an effort here, he will get that difference of 5 centimeters. Correct? This was 15, this was 10, so he still has 5 centimeters available for him. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Others, am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Very good.
Yes, sir.
So you learnt a new thing today?
Yes, sir.
So that means bilevel without pressure support is equivalent to APRB we can use.
Exactly. I was always saying this. Right. So if you have the option, bi-level can do everything, boss. If you keep the pressure support off, pressure support can be made to work like an APRB. But doctors are such pranis, okay, animals, they like to see a APRV mode. So give them an APRV mode. But do they know how to use an APRV mode? 90% of the doctors use an APRV mode exactly like a pressure control ventilation, which is more harmful for a patient. Pressure control does not even have a pressure support. See, each time patient takes a breath, what does he expend? Energy. So why do we give pressure support? To conserve his energy. Correct, no? So if he is going to exhale his energy in here, are you going to do any good to the patient? If you are going to use this like a normal pressure control ventilation on a spontaneously breathing patient. Fine.
Sir, could you
my
show
job
graph
is
of pressure control ventilation, sir? Could you show graph, sir, please?
I am trying to do that. Just hang on, okay? I am trying to do that. See, APRV pressure control is here. Adjusting setting is here. Ventilation. Modes of ventilation. 1 minute. Pyrodynamics. Let me see a pressure control waveform, okay? Let me, yeah, I think I might be having a pressure control. Unfortunately, I don't seem to be having a pressure control waveform.
Sorry, if you have no problem, can I get this slide, sir? Actually, very helpful slide.
No problem. We'll share it with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Of course, we cannot give the entire one, but the other thing, all these modes and all, we'll share, no issues. These are good things here. You can always share it with the doctor also while discussion that the APRV ventilation is like this, volume support is like this and all.
Sir, actually these waveforms are there in user manual.
Thank you. You haven't seen the user manual then, is it?
Yes.
So, okay, no problem. I just see. Okay, what was the query in versus pressure control, right? I don't seem to be having that pressure control waveform, boss. But I think, as Sharon rightly said, it is there in the manual. I think. Let me see whether I have that manual with me. There is so much kachada here, I don't know. Sometimes I get lost.
So can I share?
Yeah, please. I stopped.
Just
Yeah.
a minute.
Yes, it is here.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. Are you sharing?
No, I have not started actually.
Okay, I got that. Can you see this waveform?
Yeah, sir, yes.
Yeah, this is the waveform, and let us compare it with this waveform. Where is that APR now? So if we decide to check this waveform, with this waveform, can you see the difference?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When the patient is not breathing, see, these are efforts of that patient, okay? It will go up, stay there, come down, go up, stay there, come down. When a patient makes an effort, it can be at any cycle, during inspiration or during exhalation, okay? The patient is free to make those efforts. That is why we are calling it as bi-level. Level 1 and level 2. Upper level, lower level. Pressure 1, pressure 2. Name it whatever you want, okay? The same thing happens over here. Do you think if the patient is making an effort, he will not get gas? With the bias flow, he will still get gas, right? Because the machine is supposed to hold pressure constant. So this waveform will be like this. And here also, when the patient makes an effort, he will still get gas, okay? But the difference is, it will add up to one breath. Here, each individual breath will be taken as an individual breath. Clear?
Actually, sir, in pressure control mode, patient no get any extra breath, right, sir? Only machine control here.
No, if it is assisted, we have pressure control. You would put a small tick, it becomes assisted pressure control. If he makes an effort here, one more pressure breath, right? Makes a small effort here, one more pressure breath, right? He will get as many number of breaths. Suppose you put the trigger off, okay? Then this machine will be exactly like this machine. He can take in out, take in and out, take in and out, no issues. Understood? Clear?
Yes.
But the difference is 4:1. This can go all the way up to one breath in 1 minute if you want to. Or minimum 0.5 to 5 seconds if you want to. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clarification needed? Visual?
No, sir. I get it, sir.
Get it. Very good. Smart. Rahul?
Yes, sir. What do you think is the reason for this attitude in the doctors? Because I have heard it too.
See what happens
maybe
is,
I think it's because that the high time is very long.
I'll tell you. If suppose somebody tells you, okay, Patanjali का इसमें टूथपेस्ट में better resistance है, क्या अपना bacterial antibacterial property है. The next day, 90% of the people will start using it. People go by word of mouth. People get carried away. People don't want to sit, analyze and use. If you give me a basic ventilator with basic modes, I can still get things done like anything. Okay, in all these modes, if I have bi-level itself, I can get things done now. Most of the major things, do I really need an APRV mode? No. But doctors haven't bought up on the concept that if you have a patient who's really bad, then APRV mode is the mode for him. Then ask them how to use APRV mode. Oh, my senior has used it. I have seen that thing. See, to use an APRV mode, the fundamental thing is you don't want the lung to empty out completely and you keep it pressurized for as long as possible for oxygenation to happen. Okay? So it is just like CPAP, and then just release the gas and then refill it again. Release the gas, refill it again. So when you set it at 0.25, do you think the entire lung is going to collapse out? No. Only a partial amount of gas is going to go out. Some amount of gas will stay there, which over a period of time will tend to get somewhat of it there. They will check out, reduce it, and then bring back to this state again. Okay. The idea is to keep the lung pressurized, depressurize it, fill it up new gas, depressurize it, fill it up new gas. Each time you depressurize it, whatever carbon dioxide is coming out, comes out, and then refill it with fresh gas. That is the concept of this. Okay. And at the same time, you keep the patient spontaneous. If the patient is spontaneous, the venous return is better. That is one thing. Okay. Now, more inspiration time, more mean airway pressure, more oxygenation. So, APRV mode in its best form is for severe ARDS patient where you can live with hypercarbia, but you want to oxygenate that patient. Remember, pressure control ventilators are better, far better for oxygenation rather than CO2 removal. Of course, if you give adequate amount of tidal volume, you will have CO2 removal also. Agreed? And by the way, thanks for bringing up that pressure support, differential pressure support available on bi-level. That was pointed out by Nakul. This one. This is a great thing. There are some ventilators which have two pressure support levels, one on this level, one on this level.
Maybe the reason is because, for example, if we take a ventilator like CRA, so if there's a leak, then it probably won't be able to, maintain a high pressure for a very long time. It will get overheated and,
No. It is not like that. And APRV by its very definition is independent of the event or machine. And APRV is supposed to be a mode. What is APRV?
APRV is the special thing is that high pressure is very prolonged, right? It has to maintain a high pressure for a very long time. So
Exactly,
that's the reason, because the turbine might get overheated for that.
No. See, an APRV is supposed to be like this.
Very high pressure for a very long time, and if there is a leak, then the higher the leak, then higher the pressure, the higher the leak would be.
No, actually what happens here is, the story is here, okay? You have pressurized it. This is the time when the turbine is pressurized. Here, the flow is supposed to be less. So the turbine is not pressurized. A turbine can work in any particular mode. See, if the flow is constantly high, it's only then that your chances of the turbine getting heated is there. If you are giving short burst of gas, reaching the pressure, the flow is coming down. At this point of time, the turbine is at rest state. And it is giving only small burst of gas during this small ventilation. And during this time, the turbine is actually supposed to be zero because the resistance should be low. And then once this phase would be something like 0.8 seconds, and then it will take up, keep the pressure there and keep it constant there. So actually, under ideal case, the turbine shouldn't be that effective.
Yeah, ideally it shouldn't, but
Yes.
if there's a very high leak, then it probably won't.
See,
the flow won't come down, right?
yes, even if I have a leak in this machine also, the same thing should happen to the flow control valve, right? The flow control valve should stay open continuously to that thing. But is it a good thing?
No.
The second, see, you have the option of doing it, but is it the right option? Suppose this is my TPs, patient is connected, I have brought it up here, the turbine is going up here and the turbine will come up to bias flow, okay? There is a disconnect here, you are measuring the pressure here and using this turbine to pressurize this end, okay? So the turbine will start rushing fast with an idea of giving pressure here. But remember, some amount of gas goes from here into this level also, okay? this is kept open to atmosphere, do you really think that this gas is going to go there and pressurize this? But you are still seeing a rise in pressure. That is more probably because the turbine is going the acceleration path and back pressurizing that pressure transducer there, and you are seeing a rise in pressure. Whereas this patient is completely dead. No pressure at this end. That is causing the turbine to fail because you keep the turbine running for hours together at high flow. That shouldn't happen. Does that happen on RH60? No. The moment you see a disconnect here, PEEP is not reaching, pressure control is not reaching, you will see that the RH60 goes to high and then it comes down to 10 liters per minute, stays till it